100%. I appreciate y'all for understanding and listening. And your feedback was amazing.
Bro, Menace, I love doing charity. I got you, bro. I'm kidding, bro. We're live. Oh, what's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Primecast. Now, I got a little match that I want to talk to y'all about and tell y'all about, but we're going to go through a couple different subjects, a couple different little updates that we've gone through and that we've seen, a lot of teasers that have been implemented, so we're mainly going to focus on that, actually. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and introduce our cast. We might have a few people joining here a little bit on the later side, but at least for now, if we could, Menace, then Bearded, then myself, introduce yourself, tell people what you're all about.
Okay. Before I do that, Bearded, can you send Twister the credentials for the Zoom?
Got you.
But welcome, everybody. I am Menace Rex. Again, here we are, episode number 7. I am one of the partners with Paragon The Overprime. I play this game pretty much daily at this point. Across all socials, you can find me, Menace Rex. So definitely keep your eye out for anything Paragon The Overprime related.
Menace, can you angle your camera down just a little bit? You're on the bottom half. There you go.
There you go.
Spicy.
I had just moved it. That's why I wasn't prepared for this.
No, you're chilling, bro. Go ahead, Beard.
All right, what's good, everybody? It's the Beard Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder, and excited to talk about some of this stuff. These are some changes coming to this game that I think are very much needed, and I can't wait to get into them. But until then, Windu.
Spicy. And what's up, guys? I'm Windu, also known as Windu the Mace. I do everything from MOBA content, strategy, and some racing here and there as well. But yeah, this is the Primecast, where we specifically talk about Paragon The Overprime. Now, we do compare it to other MOBAs here and there, so we might use a little bit of reference here and there, but we try to keep it as much as Paragon The Overprime as possible. Now, the first thing that I want to lead into is this little K-pop video, or I might be calling it wrong. It literally just says Mave Pandora. There
you go.
Right?
You're fluent. You passed.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that works.
All right.
I mean, kudos to them for branching out their I guess original IP character to something else. I don't know anything about this dynamic though, so I really have no opinion about it just yet.
They're trying to make the female in sync for video games and singing, bro. That's what I see. This is a lot of work put in, bro. Like, all in all, like, this is a pretty well-made video. Like, I'm still not necessarily the biggest fan, but I look at it and I look at the background and I see like skyscrapers with the Paragon logo and shit, and I'm like, this is detailed as fuck, my dude. Like, they put in work, time, and effort into this. Do you guys think it's a bad choice for them to be trying to branch out this early? I'll give an example. League of Legends, they established their MOBA and then they branched out, as opposed to them branching out during early access.
Yes, I do think it is a bad timing situation. I think this is something that's going to be great for them to do, and they have this, especially with them being more on the Eastern market. It's going to be a great marketing thing for them and for the game. But right now it's not the right time for it, because right now you have issues with the game and you don't have a true way to have a new player come into this game and play this game and have it be a good situation. So you're going to have new people. They're going to see this. They're going to get excited. They're going to want to play it. They're going to come in. And when they play it, they're going to get pub stomped by Menace and Reaper, because that's all they play is this game. And it's not going to be fun for them. So then they're just going to leave like, nope, didn't want to play that. And they're going to leave. So...
There's no way people see this video and think it's a game, bro. There's no way.
There's going to be some...
Like, I see that and I'm like, what? Dance Dance Revolution?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
If I saw this standalone video, honestly, and consider the fact that this link is on a totally different... This isn't even on Paragon The Overprime site. No. Or Paragon The Overprime YouTube. This is completely separate. If I saw this, I would think it's its own IP. I would think it's its own thing completely. I would never even know that there's a game attached to this. Seeing this.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to hit next. Like, I don't know if it was branded for the game per se. Like, it has its pieces, but I don't know if they're if this project is trying to say, hey, come play this game, if that makes sense. Like I said, I just don't know enough about it. Whatever Pandora is, but I guess time will tell. Maybe there'll be a follow-up or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be a TV show or something. Terry,
welcome. Before you talk, don't say anything, Terry. But real quick before you talk, hover over your picture, and in the top right, there's an ellipsis. Click the ellipsis. Change your name just before your name comes up. We don't want to DDoS you here.
Right.
Latin is asking in the chat: is this supposed to be a version of KDA, but for Overprime? So KDA was like this little K-pop event that they had in League of Legends, and they got all these skins and whatnot, like a whole themed event. So I'll be honest, I don't think so. I think this is because they've been very clear from the beginning that they wanted to have their own TV show. They wanted to make their own like online e-girl K-pop stars sort of vibe. Like that was a totally separate project that they wanted to kind of head on. So I think this is just that flushed out. I'll go ahead and put it full screen here just a little bit. All these things would be considered animations, VFX. You get me? The media team would be involved. So at some point, animators had to animate all this. At some point, the VFX team had to go in there and throw all these sparkles and all the lights to shine and everything. So it's...
And
I don't know if that's the same thing.
This isn't, there's no like link to the game or whatever, but eventually this is going to be linked to the game. Hence the logos and all that stuff already in the video, right? So to a new person that doesn't know what this is, they don't know, but eventually this is going to be showing, like you're going to know when you see this video that this is linked to Paragon. Like it's going to be there.
Yes, at least currently, besides knowing the character, you just see a skyscraper with a Paragon icon. Like Stark Tower or something like that. Paragon.
Right.
Yeah.
These characters, do we know about all these characters? Like, are these supposed to be all the same? Like, is it just like different variations of different characters that they've released before? No, because I'm pretty sure one of them. What's her name? Adele, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't the pigtail girl Adele? The two pigtails?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Wasn't it on the Twitter? They said she was joining somebody or something.
So if we think about it, we got Zena, we got Adele, and we got Shinbi. Does that mean that this is like an official tease of a fourth character that they might be throwing in there?
Possibly.
You get what I'm saying?
That looks just about right, to be honest.
That's what I see when I see these four.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, so there's a fourth character that they're teasing here, and it's like just completely separate project, right? But then I can also see the kind of vibe that they're going for. I could see them throwing all these skins in Overprime. Paragon The Overprime.
Saber's talking about Yin.
Ooh, that's
Yin, fair.
That's definitely a good guess.
Fair, because she's not in the game. That easily could be her.
But if this is supposed to be a Korean, right? If it's supposed to be a Korean
K-pop group or something.
K-pop group, right? Like how like League has like Kada and stuff. Like, I mean, isn't Yin like Chinese?
No, I don't know.
I mean, but technically,
it can all be changed too.
I get what you're saying, but the whole game change could easily just change. All of a sudden, like her like lore could be changed that she's Korean now.
Yeah,
I mean,
they can make everything.
Looks Korean now, and
right? Yeah,
they changed her model.
Decker looks Korean now.
Yeah, so I mean,
all that could be changed.
Howitzer looks Korean anyway.
Yeah, you said changing my mind.
Now.
Yeah.
Something was brought up on For the Minions, and I kind of want to see what your guys' thoughts on it is. They had a character they teased forever ago, Rina, and then you have a character, and then you released a character called Zena, and she's also supposed to be this virtual reality star or whatever. So was that just a name change now? Is Rina still a thing, or is Rina become Zena?
Oh, I mean.
Like the great Kanye West said, I guess we'll never know.
You said great, and now I don't trust anything you ever said.
I can't with him, bro. So here's my thing on that. Was I guess the whole Rina name, was that before they did their official name change back to Paragon? Because if they had a huge structure Because if they had a huge structure of name changes for all their characters, changing Rina to Zena might have just made sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they did the entire roster change,
anyways.
yeah, but if they did the entire roster change and then they changed it from Rina to Zena, like if it was just a totally separate switch, maybe.
I see what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, because obviously nobody knows. Well, they know obviously, but anybody here in this cast right now doesn't know. But like, why wouldn't you change Adele then? Because Adele was the first one announced, and her name hasn't changed yet. You know, so then Rina was the next one after that was announced, and then now we got Zena, and now we could still also get Rina, for you to have a Zena and a Rina together, like I don't know, and maybe Rina is the fourth.
I mean, isn't in any video game anything subject to change? Like,
yeah.
I mean, in this day and age, especially with video game companies, even AAA studios, like nothing is ever set in stone, as we know, and as games develop and they grow. I just don't think that they are limited to anything. Obviously, too much change is a bad thing, right? And we've experienced that too in video games. But you know.
And on that note, tell people exactly who you are, Terry. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. If you guys don't know, my name's Terry Twister is my original name, but I think, and for whatever reason, I can't get that name back in Overprime. So if you see me in Overprime, I'm the Terry T. That is my sub name for now until hopefully maybe I'll get it changed one day. Been playing Paragon since the day and age, since it was an alpha test on the PlayStation 3 so far back in the day, and then now growing to all the way back to, you know,
my dude said PS3. Hold on, Terry. That's the PlayStation 4, bro.
Yeah, 4.
My dude went back an extra decade, Terry.
Because you know what that is? It's like, I feel like Paragon happened so many years. I feel like that shit happened like 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
I feel like I was still a teenager when Paragon came out.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So I think just like the longevity of it, I've been playing Paragon for such a long time. Going into like all these Parazombies, like Fault, I was a huge fan of. Unfortunately, they had to leave us with another legacy that hopefully these other two companies will be able to carry on. So at this point, and I will be very upfront that I am an OP boy. I love Overprime. I played a Predecessor, so I'm not one of those guys who hasn't played it, I don't play it as much, but I have had some games here and there. So I do have some opinions on that aspect side of it. So, but in terms of favorability, I do like Overprime a little bit more.
And thank you for being here, Terry.
No, thank you guys.
Even though I heard you got into a match last minute.
Yeah, I was trying to get my placement.
Did you win?
If for anybody's information, I did not win.
Oh, Terry!
We had a Kwong and Fang who just kept like W keying, and we weren't. I don't blame them specifically.
Which one were you, the Kwong or the Fang?
No. I was the Sparrow, and I was like 7 and 6. So it was Kai who kept. Basically, Kai was just all over me. Like I could not get him, like there was, and I had a support ramp, so there wasn't a whole lot of peel that he could have done for me. So, you know, I think it's just, and yeah,
bro, your win rate with steel and rank is like 102%. That's where you fucked up. You deserve that L for not playing steel. That's what happened.
Nah, I mean, even still, I don't think steel, and people will understand that from the stats and everything going into like hopefully this next patch that's coming in, hopefully in the next week or so, or hopefully soon, that there will be some balance changes going forward with in terms of competitive and who needs a spike in terms of power, Wukong. But definitely some people who still need some dumbing down. I don't know how, but there's definitely people who still skyrocket in the comp MMR right now.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so back to the original subject that we were at real quick.
Yeah.
You're good. I thoroughly like these K-pop skins or whatever the fuck they want to call them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole black and purple sort of vibe that they got going on. I'm biased on the purple by all means, but I dig it.
Obviously.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, had no clue.
Y'all are haters. Anyway. But no, I get your point that you were making, Bearded. It's very worrisome to think that if they only have one studio, that instead of focusing on game animations, instead of focusing on, game VFX, etc., they're splitting their resources to do this as well because they're ambitious. That is a little worrying, because even the biggest of studios can bite off more than they could chew too early, right?
Yeah. So like, meaning like they spent money on this rather than like giving us something early. Is that what you're?
Not necessarily. Well,
just more polish on the game.
More polish on the game.
Like new skins, like some of the skins that they brought out with new animations are dope.
That final test, melee heroes, there was a lot of hitching when you auto attacked, right? You were kind of bouncing back and forth when you could literally just only hit the auto attack button and you're still moving. Why are you moving when you're not? If you're not hitting W or D or A or D, why are you moving left or right? There's no reason for it. There was a bunch of hitching with that, right?
Right.
They smoothed that out, but it's still there. So that still needs some more work. So if they're using, their animation team to make this video, and I don't know, I'm only making that statement if that's a possibility. If they're using that animation team to make this video and then use their time and resources on this video instead of using their time and resources on helping fix that hitching and other things that are, the game's not the smoothest. It's not perfect, right? We all know that, right? It's early access. I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but there's things that need to be done. And if that's my point. If it's a third party that you're having do this, then okay, fine. I still don't think it's the greatest timing for something like this. Like, this is something that can come out later on. We need to focus on this game and what we got to go on with this game, not the things of how kind of things, not the lore of how things are going into it right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like Saber said in the chat. Saber's Fortune, shout out. He says interactions need so much work to be busy making a K-pop video. In general, there's a lot of things, right? Like we still want certain, like a little bit more refined, maybe replay system features here and there, right? Like we still want certain animations that might seem lackluster, especially when you show us these dope ass skins and how cool some of those animations are. Now it's like, well, you know what? I kind of wish base character had at least a little bit better animations here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like the animations definitely seem lackluster, but that might be on purpose. So who knows? That's subject. But yeah, I mean, just all in all, I know that they got the money. I know that they got a big studio size because, correct me if I'm wrong, they merged with the Seven Deadly Sins studio, the studio that made the game Seven Deadly Sins, the mobile game. So they merged whenever they were acquired, so it just became one big studio. So they got the staff. I didn't
know that.
Yeah, so I just don't know if it should be a concern or not.
Yeah,
I guess them
allocating. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you can go ahead because that's basically what it comes down to. They're allocating resources to this when they might not need to.
Right.
Like even they have a budget.
Is that something they're doing? Maybe they're not. Maybe they literally did just kind of, here you go. Here's our code for these girls.
Zena,
these girls, and then they gave it to a third party system to create. Right, or a third-party team, not third-party.
I mean, they still got to pay them.
I mean, and they did.
I'm sure they have their own teams. Netmarble's got to have their own in-house teams dedicated to doing stuff like this, right? As big of a company as they are, or at least a group of third parties that they always go to, right? Got hookups and whatnot. But even then, we saw with Strange Matters, for example, that still costs money, regardless if you get a hookup because you got a connection with them or whatnot. It's still resources and. And a lot of people have a misconception that just because they're owned by Netmarble, they have an infinite budget. That's not how budgeting works. Like they got periods of time and they're like, hey, this is your budget. You have to make this work for staffing. You have to make this work for marketing, etc. And the fact that they're using money on this, let's just say this is part of their 2022 last quarter, because this is already done, right? Like this shit could have been done last month. Let's just say benefit of the doubt, this is part of their 2022 budget. And they got a whole new budget for 2023.
Right.
Could it be like, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, no, I thought this was more, I see this more as maybe a marketing tool, maybe part of their marketing budget. That's why I wanted to just like kind of jump in and be like, maybe it was a part of their marketing budget and maybe they just don't, maybe this is the way they feel like promoting the game will get their, for
the masses.
Their masses, what I mean? Because as we know,
or whatever that market they're trying to
do. obviously, like, there is a market for that, maybe in, where they're from. So maybe that's just the way they feel like is the best way to market it to their own masses. So then maybe that's why it came out that reason, why that's coming out the way it is. But that's probably just one maybe reason why. Yeah.
I mean, and Asteris agrees that it's definitely coming to marketing, and I definitely see it coming out of the marketing budget as well. I just, again, the very beginning, before you got here, Terry, Menace and Windu both said that, like, there's nothing on here that says that this is Paragon the Overprime, right? We know that it's Zena and the girls, right? But like nothing about it, just there's no like, hey, and then at the end of it, play Paragon the Overprime, right? There is a Paragon the Overprime logo in the video, on a building somewhere. But like, if you don't know anything about it, you're not gonna be like, oh my gosh, I gotta go play this game now, and you're not doing that. So then it's like, really, if we spent money on marketing of something that doesn't really market, and then but it's there, right? And I feel like it's more lore based. I feel like we're just kind of building their lore and going from there. And I just don't think in an early access game, lore is that big of a deal.
So we're throwing some numbers out there. That video is at 5.4 million views right now. And just to shout out one of the comments here, it's got 586 likes by Bravixi, I think that is. It says, I'm actually surprised that this wasn't done earlier in the K-pop industry. If you're into digital art, you must know that South Korea is known for the digital concept character artists that are just on another level. Almost every magnificent looking game/movie or other media always had a South Korean for their art director, or even if it's not on the art director, there's always one on the execution design team. So this is just a person that completely irrelevant, not Paragon the Overprime. It's like, hey, like the fact that you're doing digital K-pop artist is smart. I see a lot of comments in here saying that the song is dope, that they like it, that the shit should be on Spotify. So I see this as a completely separate play. It's like, hey, if the game don't work, we're using the assets for a different reason, just in case.
Yeah,
that's how I see
it. There's actually one of the partners. He's from that part of the world, and there's obviously a communication barrier if I ever talk to him. But I hop in the stream, or maybe I'll just message him in Discord. I'm going to see what he says. Because maybe there just is something that we're just not aware of,
and that's exactly what I was thinking, Menace. I was like, maybe when somebody else watches this, because like, again, there's a market for it over there, right? I watch this and I'm just like, okay, yes, it's a video. Like I think I say nothing about this. Like I nothing, and maybe it's just I'm not seeing it. Maybe there's a subliminal message that's just not being sent to me, right? And then somebody else is getting it, right? They're able to see that, like, oh no, look, it's because they're driving a Corvette that does this in the city, but then they're doing this dance here, it means this. I don't know. I could be missing completely something different here. I don't know. Well, and that would be cool. That'd be some good insight if we can.
Yeah, I mean, it brings you back to like when Paragon released that trailer for Shinbi, right? Like that was very K-pop inspired. It had a lot of K-pop moments in there. So again, and then Paragon wasn't even, they were attacking that market. So, you know what I mean? So they know there's a market for it. People, that's their whole big thing over there. That's the culture. So, I feel like
it's different though, because this isn't a Zena release trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That was a Shinbi release trailer. That was your releasing of the hero. This is your introduction, and that was what you released to the hero, but you also had some lore with it, right? Mm-hmm. This isn't that. If this was her release trailer, then we're not having this discussion, right? Like, okay, sweet, we got a new hero. This is the release of it, and I'm okay with that if that's what you're doing. But it just isn't that, and just timing wise, just is off to me if that's what you're going to count this as.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Hey man, can I just say I hate to be conspiracy theorist guy here, but am I the only one that noticed that they're actually using the loot boxes for something now? I'm gonna freeze it on the screen so y'all can see, but can y'all? They're actually using the loot boxes, so they're like, that loot box didn't go to waste. We're using it somewhere.
Well, it is called Pandora, like Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That is true.
Could be another thing, but yeah. If they use that as a loot box, I will not be surprised.
Like if they
if that was an asset,
like if they wanted to make this like the Paragon song, right? Like if they wanted to make this like the Overprime, like when you load up the game, it plays the song in the background, or it starts like a 5-second
fucking loot box right there. Whatever the fuck they want to call it, right?
What's that city that they're from? In the lore, the original lore, what was that city?
No, in the original lore, the world was Agora. If that's what you're talking about.
But wasn't
Are you talking about like on the K-pop side?
Wasn't Shimby and FaZe from a particular world or city?
Maybe, bro. I don't know.
I don't know. This isn't on this episode. We have to ask him.
Yeah,
he would be the one to know.
Shit.
Yeah,
especially about Shimby.
Yeah, so. I'm pretty sure if that was maybe they're just bringing that world or that city to life, and then this is their way of doing it and using those assets. Yeah, probably I could see them doing that. So
fair. So moving on past that one, because we could.
Real quick, Asteris kind of brings something up, and it kind of ties me. Makes me think Fortnite type situations, right? It says maybe they release more songs from her and have metaverse concerts of some shit, right? Fortnite does that, right? After the end of a new chapter or whatever happens, like they'll have they'll make a character,
like a little concert or whatnot. Yeah,
Marshmallow was one of them, right? I know there's other ones too that came on. I think
Travis Scott.
Yeah,
that was hype as fuck, bro.
Ariana Grande was the other one I was thinking, and then everybody shows up to that. Like literally, you jump into the game and you go watch that concert or whatever in the game or whatever, and you're a part of that. That could be something that they do here. I don't think you jump into the game and run to Prime Pit and watch her, dance around Prime Pit.
But Fortnite is a different case. That is a very fleshed out game. That's promoting, marketing, all that. That's years of gathering an audience.
100%. Yeah. But this could be something you could have this
later on. Way later.
Her song could be her next song could be the release of the new season pass. Her next song could be, then keep on doing that. Every time she releases a song, it's a new season pass.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff like that works for League of Legends. Like they always got a new hype song for the new season, and that's like kind of like the theme of the season and whatnot. So maybe.
And maybe that's just like maybe their intro to be like, man, we need some dancing emotes back, man. I need to, like, I was playing Kai and I want to like do that stupid.
Or you imagine if all four of them have the same exact matching emote, and you could dance next to each other with different characters with the exact same emote going.
Like a group emote.
Yeah, that
activates and everybody come near.
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I know we have the little things that pop over their head, like, oh, like look at me, I'm sending an emo of like, my stun taken out or whatever. But like, I would really like dancing to come back, or like some kind of emotes.
Now, I do find it interesting. This specific post is by the Paragon The Overprime parody page, which is like a fan page that posts a lot of their working concepts and stuff like that, not necessarily official announcements. But I find it interesting that they put Zena from Paragon The Overprime has her virtual debut in the Mave official with the song Pandora. Now, I wonder why it's only focusing on Zena, because I'm pretty sure other characters are there too, unless I'm just tripping. And only Zena's in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how because I don't know how the marketing or like how the recruiting works in Korea, or because even Japan has their own different way of how they make artists. Okay. Like in America, like anyone as long as you make a song and it's good, you could fly through the charts. Like I think in other countries, I think it's more of like an actual profession. Like you have to go through like all these I think it's like recruiting or something like that, or what I've heard is like they get these young kids, put them together, make a band out of it, and then we'll see if that takes off. Basically, I think that's how they do it, but I'm not entirely sure. But just the different ways of how they promote their artists is a little different than how we do it in America. So I don't know exactly how they do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Asteris is bringing up an interesting point. Maybe it's one of those things like they're releasing a song per character, and then they'll eventually just kind of formally introduce all 4 down the road.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But if you guys don't mind, let's talk about a couple of these other
let's
so we can move forward here.
Enough talking about K-pop bands.
So if anything, they also this fan page also posted that they're going to be making changes to the fog walls. He's saying that Ranger, the main dev, said he wants to bring 2 updates each month and wants to communicate more with everyone. He said it in the Discord. Now, this fog wall right here that they added, I don't mind it at all because it was super cheese that Duo could see into that area, right?
Yep.
But personally, I would have preferred if they added foliage like in the original Legacy map instead, to where you can only see it if you jump down from the Duo lane. Like if you're already in that jungle path, then you can see it, right? But if you're up on the ledge, you can't see it because there's like a tree in your way or something. Add more to the world as opposed to just lazy fog wall.
Like not like cover it completely, but just make it like more designs around it, or
like in the original Legacy map,
the original one, when you had the big fog or big trees and flowers,
the tree was blocking the black buff.
You dropped it.
You had to drop down to see if the black buff was being taken or not.
Right.
Like more of a commit, so to speak, right? Which this still gives you that commit element by all means. I think it's a quick patch.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a step in the right direction. I think it's a good, because my whole thing is like, I mean, and it helps too a lot with just like rotations and everything. Because once you do see that somebody's on or hitting that prime buff, like if you're Wukong or the jungler or Kai or whatever, that art, and especially how fast everybody can rotate, you're literally in a team fight in literally in like a couple seconds because everybody starts funneling in, right? Like duo funnels in, and then solo's got to take TP and then funnels in. So it's probably going to help a lot more with the brawlier aspect of it, where like not everybody's just jumping in, because nobody knows what's really going on. So that could possibly be another reason for it.
Is melee's more of an advantage? Because now a range character has to walk through to see instead of just zoning them from the furthest.
But is that fog wall on the other side though? Is there another fog wall?
That's what needs to be there.
Yeah,
you need one for mid. You need one for mid to be there too.
If mid can still see it, that's kind of like
it's redundant. Yeah.
Right. No one can see prime. Absolutely nobody, unless you're soul lane and you can jump over and see AOE's going off or whatever. But in terms of the Raptor Pit or Spirit is a little different because everybody can kind of see it. So unless there could be some ways to, because are they gonna put fog walls on the sides too, like where the grass is? You never know.
Right. Jelly made a great point with this. Like, if it's just dual lane, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And because when dual lane, because as a jungler, you're not going to go there and start attacking that if you literally are, if dual lane's literally sitting right there fighting, or if they're attacking your tower. You're not just going to sit there. Like you're going to strategically take it when they're either back or they're pushed under their tower or something like that. Like you're not going to sit there and take it from there. So just dual lane doesn't make sense. It's got to be both. You got to cut off both sections.
Is it maybe just because dual lane has the faster rotate? Because you know how the buffs are more towards the outer edge of the map?
Mm.
Like, you know how technically like solo lane with mobility can get to prime faster and duo can get to the mid spirit faster,
but mid could easily look at it and just spam click just to let everybody know, hey, if you can visually see that they're on it, you can just sit there and just spam click it on the map to let everybody know they have to go there.
Yeah.
If you can't visually see, you have to commit and go down there and see that they're taking it. Then you can spam, hey, we need to get spirit.
Mm-hmm. Like it's got to be some,
or it's got to be warded. This is also a buff to Wukong, just so you guys know too.
Yeah, because this is like. There's got to be some risk and there's got to be some punishment, right? Like there's got to be some, hey, I'm going to go try and take this buff. No one knows I'm here. But like, if you're going to take that risk and go down there and check, then you got to also be prepared to be punished for that, or be able to get a great like reward out of it. So and this brings me back to like Fault 2. Like I love the way they set up their raptor pit, just because there was a giant wall basically blocking both sides, right? You couldn't just like, it wasn't a fog wall per se, right? It was just like you actually had to go inside that area and check. So I think it's bringing it back to that. I mean, I'll say this like I said last night. My favorite version of the raptor pit from Fall or whatever was basically when they had two sides basically open, and then basically you're just playing who's gonna go in first and who's gonna attack it first. This seems like it's like, I wouldn't say quick fix, like maybe, but it's just like more of like there's like a wall that you guys actually have to go inside and check for it, and then play that game of who's going to jump in or not.
Menace, what are your thoughts about the fog wall?
My thoughts is going to allow more tactical play. And I'm sorry, guys, I had to step away, put myself to sleep. But it's going to enable more tactical play. I think people are going to be a little bit more apprehensive than running around. When I was streaming yesterday or the day before, Reaper brought up to me that I think from duo to mid is more severe right now than solo to mid, like that, just that line of sight, if you will. Because on the duo side, you can see all the way to the stairs that go up to mid. So it's definitely going to be, it's definitely needed. This is something that should have been in a long time ago, to be honest, because
the map design be all right.
A map is possibly, I don't know. But like the current fog walls, like the ones in mid lane, right, that fall into the jungle, I think those serve absolutely no purpose right now. So a fog wall like this, like the one that's coming off the Prime Spirit, I think that serves a lot more value than the ones that we currently have. So like I said, it's definitely something that should have been needed a long time ago. It's definitely going to emphasize those warnings. So did you guys talk about the warning thing? Or
not yet. No, not yet. Yeah, rolling on this.
But
okay. But it's so I'm not going to talk about the new warden thing, but I think this is going to emphasize ward play even more. But when you take away that line of sight, So
my only concern too is because how like they have the bushes, from either lane going up the stairs or going up the ramps on either side, solo and duo. So do you think that wall should just be pushed back and be a completely fog wall, like kind of like Fault was, where it's just a complete wall, like literally separating that wall lane. And just remove those bushes, keep the bushes obviously on the inside of the lane, but remove those bushes and just have a wall on either side. Is that something that
I would say no, keep the bushes, because what the bush does, it allows that route from the jungle into the dual lane. It gives that aspect of it, because if you take the bushes completely away, now people have line of sight directly coming in and out of the jungle. You know what I mean? Like going from red buff and taking that side little, like a little. Well, so what's the word I'm looking for here? That little side avenue into the dual lane, if you will. So I think the bushes still need to stay there, unless they completely remove that little alley entirely, which I doubt. I don't see that coming.
Now, Windu, you said, and I agree with you. I think overall late game, like I'm saying, not early access. I mean, but like
down the road
release, down the road. I think you're like adding the old legacy bushes, like the trees or whatever, to kind of hide that is a better route. But I think right now, with the game, Sabers made a comment about if you don't have a 20 series or higher GPU, you almost can't play this game, right? And I think adding more of those things to that's the comment of the community. I don't know. I have a 20 series. I don't know.
I got a 1080 Ti. Mine runs it just fine, but then again, 1080 Ti isn't a slouch,
right? So, anyways. Comments on that. So either way, my point with that is the what's the word I'm looking for? The smoothness of this game of operate of the what's the word I'm looking for? FPS, whatever, all that stuff. All of that
optimization
isn't the greatest optimization. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. The optimization of this game still needs to be worked on. And I did see how they're making they made a comment about they hired a new lighting person, to help with that. So that's going to help as well. But adding that foliage in, I think is good, because we remember the fault map when they had all that foliage, then they took it out of the game because the fact that it just helped the optimization that much. I think that right now would hurt the game. So I think this fog wall will kind of help with that. It's a little more easier to optimize around. So I think this is more of a early access fix, and then full release. I think I do agree. And I mean, this might be their, hey, this is what we like, but I think your idea is better. I think that would be a better flow with the map. It fits everything better. It gives you more of that agora, because it's supposed to be, the map is agolith, right? It's a combination of both, so it kind of gives a little more agora feel to it. So it definitely ties right in. I think it would be perfect. But I still think that it needs to be both sides. Again, we're only seeing one side. We don't know for sure if the other side it does get a fog wall or not. It just needs to be both sides, is how I feel about it.
Yeah, I had said that too on my stream the other day. I was like, it makes sense, right? Almost every aspect of this map is asymmetrical to a degree, right? You got red buffs on opposite corners, blue buffs on opposite corners. You know, the waves or the lanes themselves are structured the same, just opposite on either end. So it will only make sense to have one on the solo lane side right before like they come out, or right. There's that gap, like right before you come out of the jungle and going into Prime Pit, like right there, right behind the bushes, if you will. But yeah.
Well, that brings in the question of like, is jungle, like all you guys adding foliage and stuff, do you feel like the jungle is too simple?
I feel like the map layout in general, I would say the overall map design is very simple, right? The jungle's very open. All the camps are just basically to the outside corners with one in the center, right?
No mazes or anything like.
Yeah, you look at mid to duo, it's literally a straight fucking line. You get what I'm saying? That's why you can see all the way through. It gets better on the Overprime side, right? Yeah. Like the design and like the circular, you have to go around. Yeah. That part's a little better. But when you take that out, I'd say the other 70% of the map is just very basic, right? And I've seen better maps out of them in the past. I always thought that this map was more of a performance fix more than anything. But I've seen more intricate maps and better looking, beautiful maps in the past. So I'm looking forward to for them to make a beautiful, super intricate, but also very well thought out design, as opposed to, hey, this will be easy for new players. Because maybe that's what this map is. Maybe it's just let's not complicate it. Let's not get these people lost. Bearded can attest that he's played other MOBAs that the jungle design, sometimes you make a turn and it's like, bro, I got fucking lost in that jungle. Holy shit. I literally turned around, went left. That's not where I fucking came from, bro. I thought it was. So maybe it's intentional because of the stage that they're in. Maybe a more intricate map, more beautiful map, better optimized will be coming later, right? Maybe this is just an early access map.
Yep.
But who knows?
Just a touch back real quick. Sabres does say that Netmarble is the second largest shareholder for Hybe, or Hybe, I don't know, HYBE, which has a few K-pop groups that are moving in on making the big three, the big four entertainment companies. So maybe that's a little what they're kind of trying to get into here with the Zena K-pop video.
Just trying to claim territory in the whole digital K-pop, whatnot.
Yep, trying to get their foot in the door. So, okay. Definitely. All right. I think we're good here with Fogwall, right? We can move on to the next one?
Yep.
All right. So then we see a post.
The discussion, but I think we just move on to the next one.
I hate him, bro. I hate him. So then there's this post here that it says, who is codename 1041? Also, guess who is codename 1042?
We click on that image. I think there's more to that image.
Yeah. So am I correct to assume that on the left-hand side, that says crunch in whatever language?
And I would love to assume it, but watch it be that it says something else that links everything together. And I wanted to, this is exactly why that South Korean partner I mentioned, I wanted to hit him up like, hey, do you know what this says? Because before I make any guesses, I have to know what that says. I really do.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that's crunch, but I don't like.
Hold on. If we read,
my question is, how are you gonna know 1041 and 1040? Like, why? It's literally just the normal.
It should just be code numbers, right? Like whatever they're giving them. But here's the thing: 1041 is 1042 is. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's a bear claw.
Could be Boris.
That could be a dog print. That could be, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a dog.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it could be
Crunch's footprint.
Yeah,
he has
it could be that they could be their original hero. That
Mako.
Mako. Yeah, that could be Mako's foot, like paw.
I would have said Mako.
Marco Polo.
FTM's calling him Mako because they're saying mascot. They're calling him the mascot or whatever. So they're calling it's an abbreviation for mascot, I guess. Mako. I don't know.
I mean, apparently not because I'm just going with it. K-pop video. I don't see them doing
if you watch their little diary video they do or whatever, I can't remember what it's called. There's a video they do YouTube videos, and they said that this Mako whatever is their mascot.
This is their mascot. Yeah. The OP. Yeah. What do you call it? For the record. There you go. For the record.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. Like maybe it could be a whole bunch of teasers. It could literally mean nothing.
It's not like there's anything in there to kind of help us, like a little hint, you know, kind of like when they gave you like, hey, whose weapons are these? Which is obviously easier, but they were definitely different than normal. And having the little having the rad rounds being separate was like kind of like a little throw off, like, all right, maybe that isn't, you know, but then you kind of look more into it. Yeah, that's obviously that's
Drago, etc.
Drago, right? But I mean, this is like, okay, Crunch, got it. How am I supposed to guess 1041 out of you showing me Crunch and a paw? Like what? Huh?
Yeah, like, you wouldn't know how far I went into this, right? So, so hear me out here. So I broke it down. I was like, all right, let me see if this is a daytime group, right? I was like, let me see if any of these numbers make sense, right? And couldn't get nothing. I was like, all right, maybe it's a month and a day. Couldn't get nothing. I was like, maybe it's coordinates. Couldn't get nothing, bro. I was trying every single piece of 4 numerical asset that I could think of, and I couldn't get nothing. I'm telling you, the clue is in that. I'm assuming it's Korean text. It's in that text. That's gonna piece it up.
It has to be, yeah. I mean, because other than that, I don't understand.
I have to quote the great Kanye again. We will never know.
I can't with him, bro. But yeah, I mean, there really isn't much to talk about there. I will say though, it is interesting how this fan page keeps consistently tagging PlayStation and Xbox. It like the tags used are Paragon The Overprime, Paragon console, PlayStation, Xbox crossplay coming. So the fan page is pushing that heavy, bro. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Again, that's just the fan page. We don't know.
I know I'm the negative Nancy, and that's fine. I'm still annoyed that like literally Paragon doesn't have their own Twitter like making these posts. Like it's literally off a parody, like a fan page is making these posts. That just annoys me. Like I feel like this is you need like we literally had a Ranger says he wants to be more talking, he wants to be more, you know, communicative with the community, you know, let them know what's going on. But like you guys don't even have your own Twitter that you're using, that you're posting regularly on. Like
but I think they might see that parody account and be like, they're already doing it for us and it's working, so why would we spend the money, the effort, the time paying somebody to do it?
To let you have it, to know that it's an actual announcement. Because you know what, I mean, even though I know what is going on, like I don't follow that account. like literally, like I follow SMS's account. I follow Predecessor's account. I follow the ones like I follow college football's accounts. Like these are the ones I know. I'm not gonna follow something that says parody. Like to me, the parody's always meant joke. Like you know, you listen to any parody song, it's a song that's making fun of another song. Yeah, it's not. This isn't real. This is fake. Like it doesn't. Like
I'm convinced it's another staff member. Just from.
And if it is, then why not?
I'm still not 100%
account.
I'm still not 100% sold that that's not Mangoose, bro. Like I know he told me no, but I'm like, hey man, I still think that's Mangoose.
There's some stuff on there that like the way the devs do communicate, right? They do use their Discord, right? And there's stuff that the parody account will post way before the discount even, or the Discord will even post. And that's what makes me think is somebody in on the team. And my only possible idea could be like maybe just they don't see Twitter being a positive source for them. And maybe that's why they don't push it as hard compared to like Discord or...
I'm sorry, but how many views did that thing have?
I mean,
the K-pop video have.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but that was on YouTube. That wasn't on.
I think overall the marketing of this game is pretty weird and it's spotty. You know what I mean? There's like little, like, honestly, I don't trust anything too. Like I'm with you, Beauty. I agree. Like I don't really trust anything if it's not coming from the announcements on their Discord. I just don't trust it. So
I feel that. Worth mentioning, 17.8 thousand of those views came from that Twitter post on this parody.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
But for a parody account, yeah, that's pretty good exposure, to be honest.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, so you were saying, Terry, because I want to elaborate on that a little bit. So you think their marketing in general is a little weird? Could you go into detail?
I mean, I don't think I mean, and that's with Pred too. I don't know if I see too much marketing. I mean, I don't know if maybe there's not enough yet, but I mean, yeah, we get like little things here and there, but on a big, massive scale, like I don't feel like there's not a whole lot of promotion for it, or there's not like, we're not getting like, it's mostly just like, oh, updates here, we're working on this, we're working on that. Like, I mean, there's no like big like thing yet. So I don't know. I think like, I don't know. It's just like we got. I mean, the biggest thing was that roadmap, right? We got that big roadmap. Like, it's just weird that there wasn't like they can use that money. Like they have like that. They did the whole K-pop video or whatever. Maybe they should have done like a video of like the whole roadmap video or something like that. Something like, something like it. I don't know, but that's just me. But
yeah, I mean, feel like having a full account, having a true account, not a parody account, is going to help you grow. Mm-hmm. Like we've said it always, all the way back, go back to the fall partner panel. We've always talked about how you can't just make posts in Discord, right? And now Fault didn't have a fan that was making these posts and just growing their Twitter off of it. So I mean, I guess there's that for them as well. But like you can't literally you have to put these on all different socials. You should be, utilizing Twitter, utilizing Instagram when it's optimal. Put it on Facebook. Use these socials to your advantage. You have to network and get it out there. Like, there's no reason not to. And for you to just like, hey, we got a parody account that's going to do it. It literally says parody on it. Like, we all know that it's legit information because we're that close to this game, right? But Jim, who is just finding out that there's a Paragon remake, doesn't know that this is going to be an actual account, doesn't know that this is real.
It's not like Paragon the Overprime official, right? Something like that. Maybe Jim saw this account and said, no, that's not that. Oh, that's like Paragon. All that is, they're just making that. Paragon died 5 years ago. That's not a thing. And then it moves on. Doesn't realize that there's an actual remake going on right now.
I mean, I could see it. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I think the majority of people, even if it's just parody, they're not going to make it past the word Paragon. They're going to see Paragon, immediately skip to the content and be like, oh my God, content.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what the majority of people, they're not even going to notice it's a parody account. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we also see,
because that's how I found this account. I literally was like looking, people were talking about, I can't remember what it was. They were talking about something. Oh, it was the dev kit. They had the dev kit for PS4. Everybody's, oh my God, they got a PS4 dev kit. I'm like, what? I'm like literally looking for where they found this. I'm like, where are they? I'm looking, I'm trying to find a Paragon. I'm trying to find the Paragon account. Can't find it. I found something that said parody. Well, that's not it. I'm like, no. I'm like, I literally couldn't find a dev kit. Come to find out, it's because it was on a parody account. Like it, and I'm somebody that's close to the situation. That's why I'm saying I disagree. I feel like other people are going to see that.
I don't know.
But
maybe.
Anyways, we can move on.
Yeah.
So then we see them actually post. So something about the matchmaking is changing. I don't 100% fully understand.
Not matchmaking. It's the
matching system. Sorry. Okay.
So watch the GIF, and what you're seeing is you're not seeing an accept or decline option. Nope. It literally is sending you right into the match as soon as you find one.
Okay. Is that Good, bad? Does it even matter?
Good, because there's been trolls. There's been people that literally would just sit there and all they would do is go in a queue and decline the whole time and just make you wait longer. Is you get into a queue like, all right, sweet, I'm in a queue, and then up they hit decline right away.
Yeah, it's a quality of life change.
So that way, if somebody's trolling, they got to get into the match, leave it, and then get the ban.
And then
then they get an AFK ban, right? Because you don't get a ban or anything. If you hit decline, you got nothing. There's no negative side of that. Like you're not getting like you respectfully hit decline because like, hey, I whatever, my friend stepped away. You know, I don't. You know, he's going pee or whatever. Yeah. Right, but it was happening like literally it was happening so like people would literally were just doing this.
Yeah, you can't just like wake up one day and go, hey, today I'm gonna just go into Paragon Overprime and just decline every match I get into. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. Well, hopefully when this launches, then you can't do that anymore, which it would be nice. But that still doesn't help with the whole people leaving games anyway.
Right, but
because they're just gonna leave the draft constantly, and won't it? I'd rather reset the queue in the lobby instead of getting into a draft just to go back out to the lobby to then go back into the draft. Now he ulted forward, back out to the lobby. You get what I'm saying?
Well, should the ban pre-happen then? Should it happen as you decline?
But there's no decline. What do you mean?
If you did, keeping the decline, are you saying that there should be the ban there?
Yeah, like 5 minutes, like or
you should never be penalized for not entering a queue because you changed your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then that's what I mean, though. That's why the whole system is going into the game. Then if you leave, then you get a ban. So either way, it's just kind of the same.
Pretty much, don't queue up unless you're ready.
Yeah, to play. Yeah. The bottom line is just play the game, basically.
If you only got 15 minutes before you go to work, don't queue up.
Or
you
be
got
late.
15 minutes before the Primecast, you got to be logged in. Don't queue up.
Man, I had my placement, bro. I had to get in the goal.
You would have made it a lot better if you would have won, but you didn't.
How are you just now finishing up placements?
I haven't even finished mine.
Promotion
matches. Sorry.
I was about to say I haven't even finished my placement, bro. I did 4, and I was like, "Get me out of this cesspit."
You're in a different situation. I know Terry plays ranked all the time, so I'm wondering how he's just finishing up placements.
Yeah, promotion. Sorry,
he just means the 10 he needed to promote. That's all he was saying.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a good change. But
I also think it's a good change. I'm okay with this. This is actually part of one of the. I definitely want to promote. What they do. I really love what they're doing. You have Ranger has a developer's diary in the Discord, and he puts in his little thoughts and things that's going on in there. And this is one of those things that he when he first started this dev diary, it was actually right here. What do you think about intentionally refusing to arrange a match? Now that I think about it, it seems like a design mistake on our part. Was it really necessary to have an accept and reject buttons in the process of finding a match and going to the draft lobby? I started to have doubts about it. So, and then people were, voting on that and commenting on that. So that's really where that kind of stems from.
You know what I've noticed with these Ranger messages? I really do feel like Ranger holds a lot of weight as to what happens in the game. Like it's like
he's literally it's him and Rocket that really run the show.
Is that really what it comes down to? Because it really does sound like they
have other devs, but like the pinnacle of the dev team is them too. I could be completely wrong here because I don't know how the two studios work, but I would put the equate of Rocket and Ranger to Robbie and Smokey. Yeah. That's how I would equate those two. It's pretty spot on.
Okay, gotcha. I'm just surprised, to be honest, that there's that like it's still that much of a creative process for like 1 or 2 individuals. Whenever because I thought with the acquisition there were gonna be like a little board trying to decide what's gonna happen with the game, what direction to take the game in, and etc. It's kind of cool to see that he's got a little bit of liberty there. Say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want for the project. This is, or he could just be show facing, right? Like he literally could just be playing the part, Queen of England style, So who knows?
I mean,
Ooh,
I mean,
throwing shots at EU there. I see how you're doing.
Can't talk about Her Majesty like that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But I will say though, they also posted a little UI change, and I dig that. I think that little change is actually cool as shit. I don't think it'll take too much space because it looks like they just kind of lifted it up a bit, right? Because if you can see, that's Muriel's knee, and it doesn't even reach her knee. So I don't think it'll really take up that much space. But then, yeah, no, I like it.
I personally like the fact that there's color to it. It makes it more visible.
What do you mean, like the blue on the sides and then the green and the purple? Just more life.
So I'm assuming whoever this is playing the mirror with a blue stone must be Terry.
Right, building damage,
and then they have a ward. Like I think the
So what's
like the sentry wards.
Yeah. So what's going on with the whole? You got the stone, right, or whatever starter item you want. I'm assuming that is, and then you have a ward.
We're gonna have a permanent ward slot that everybody gets a ward now, maybe.
Yes,
and it's a cooldown. It's a cooldown slot, so maybe it's a ward every what? What do you guys think? What would be the average second cooldown?
I mean, it might
usually if a ward lasts 90 seconds, usually the timer on it is like 2-3 minutes. Because there's got to be that risk reward in there, right? You can't just get a ward on cooldowns always.
You said reward.
Maybe
that's what the cooldown would be.
Maybe they're taking away the gems upgrading into an item, and like you can still pick a base stat one, and it'll reflect on whatever B key you have it on. But now maybe they're trying to gears towards now you can actually get another item.
Yeah. What if you can still upgrade the gem and now you got 7 items technically? The 6 you can build and upgrade your gem.
Upgrade it, but it still fills the B slot.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the same with. I mean, that's the same with Smite.
Back? Am I wrong with that? Is
it? I don't know. Whatever they said it to.
B is back, but that could be changed keybinds though.
Yeah, that looks like controller.
Well, I know, but I would because everything else is normal.
Yeah.
No, that's not controller buttons, bro. Are you kidding me? That says B, Q, E, R, Z, left click, right click.
I know.
My dude said that looks like controller.
But what was I gonna say?
It is a controller if you play on a fucking Nintendo 64.
Yeah,
Z, come on, man.
the one thing I hope that this, because if getting into like higher like rank matches and stuff, Smite is kind of a big problem right now. And if you're allowed to run a starting item, like let's say like Smite, and everybody can run it, that's kind of a big issue. And it's been kind of a big issue right now in ranked, because if you have even just 2 or 3 Smites and there's no penalty to having them in lane, that needs to be changed.
Right, like what are you losing? 10 power? You can make up that difference.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. Like I mean,
Terry's playing the meta.
Yeah, I run Smite. Like my starting item is not any like blink or anything. I run Smite. I mean, I could just to get health back. Because if you think about it, that buff that's right next to you, it can give you all of your health back. If
you're in solo lane, smiting the green, you get the health from the smite and the health from the regen.
And it recharges, and your smite recharges. You can recharge your health. You never have to go back with smite.
Yeah.
So
too spicy.
So if anybody watching right now, it's. He
said, "Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit."
Yeah, don't do that against me. But it's
if you on my team, hey, do it. But
if you run smite in lane, you can contest a buff every time, and you'll get your health back. Like even just dropping in and getting the camp like right next to you, like in the jungle, full health. Just come back in the lane.
So before we go, I'm gonna jump off this whole meta talk about the starter items. The warding system is kind of the biggest thing about this. But obviously, there's a UI change coming up, but we also have the ward change. That is huge, and I think this it just helps promote warding. And I'm bad at it in the sense of when I play ADC, like I want to get my starter item and I want to get my big health pots, so the recharging health pots. After I buy those, I don't have enough money for wards. So I go to lane and it's like, all right, and then when I back, I need to get that power spike. I don't. I guess like shit. I don't have. I mean, I have to. Then I have to like. Okay, now I hope that I have enough the 50 to get a ward or whatever. Like if I don't, then it's like, all right. Do I sit here and wait for 50 or do I get back there? It's like it just becomes an issue. If you automatically have it here, like it's just there. You just now you have to put it. You drop it on cooldown. And I think it helps promote warding in a game, and I think that's a lot better of a situation.
It does promote warding, but my only issue is can you get more than one? Can you get?
I think certain heroes are going to get more than one.
Yeah. Can you? Yeah.
Well, like a support's going to have his Yellowstone and those wards, right?
Yeah, but then can you stack those wards? So can you get can you buy wards from the store if you already have it in your slot? Is it going to be able to buy?
I think the wards from the store are going to be completely gone.
Yeah. So because that is the icon from the store that you can buy.
Yeah. Right. And it's either going to be like they keep
now that could just be a placement holder. For this situation, right?
But that doesn't solve warding though. Warding now is a bigger problem because everybody can get more than the one ward. They can get 3 max if they're not running Yellowstone. So if everybody can get 1, everybody has a ward, but you can de-ward, all right, drop another Terry, ward. You know what I mean?
Terry, it does. I get what you're saying. You're talking of the potential, right? Mm-hmm. I'm talking of the actual, right?
The fact that wards actually get used.
Just because you have the potential of putting 3 wards down doesn't mean you're actually putting 3 wards down.
Correct.
Right. So we got to go off what the community's actually doing. If they're not actually doing that, if we change it to this form, are they actually now going to use it because they're not spending their money on it? They already have it. We already gave it to you. Here's your free ward. Go place it.
I would gather that 90% of the community just uses their teammates getting jumped as the ward. It's like, oh, there's a fight going on over there. I'm going that way. In the majority of casual games and stuff, right? They're very different as to higher tiers of ranked and whatnot. But
I feel like it's gonna be a drop. There's gonna be a lot of people that's not gonna even know it's there. Because I remember fault when it took a while before everybody realized, oh, I got a ward. It took a minute, and then people just like when they had rap posters and shit, it took a minute for people to catch on.
Fair. That's a fair point. Some might like, especially new players, they're still gonna get on, play, try to fight as often as possible, and not even realize they're like, I don't even know what that Z thing does, bro. I just never use it.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
I press this button to sleep, right?
It's a nice change though, by all means.
It is a nice change. I want to know more. I want more details about it. Like
whether you can sack. What if? So what if? Imagine if you get that ward, but very similar to how Fault did it, for example. What if you have a ward and the 3-minute cooldown came around? Now you have 2 wards in that slot. You get me? Like a stacking, overlaps, like charging.
Yeah, overlaps each other.
Maybe that's what if they do it that way? Like you start with 1, but you could stack them eventually. Take a risk. Maybe I'm not going to ward from 3 to 5 minutes, but then that means at the 7-minute mark, I'm going to have 2 wards to be able to use. Time it properly.
Yeah, some give and take.
One thing they do different than Fault and Pred too, though, is their wards are also D wards as well.
Yeah, it's all whatever.
Yeah,
it just gives vision.
I remember, like when I played jungle on Pred, I always forget to grab their sentry, which is their D ward system, and it just sucks. I mean, then I'm like, oh man, I'm not D warding. I don't have like so. Then I always forget to do that. And then obviously when I played Fault, I was like trained. I just mentally knew, hey, grab this one. You know,
right.
What was it called again?
The Rad Pulse.
The Rad Pulse. Yeah, grab the Rad Pulse because it helps you de-ward, right? So you have a de-warding ward, then you have a ward. And you didn't, this one's both. This one does everything. You put a ward down, you'll know if there's a ward there. You'll be able to de-ward with it as well. So there's that benefit with it as well. So that's why I think it's also okay for you to only have the 1 instead of the 3 in the new system. If that's the way it is. Obviously, we don't know. We're speculating on that situation. We'll find out more when they obviously gets implemented and they drop the patch notes for it. But this change overall, like I said, maybe it's just for the ADCs. This change right here, it just fits my play well, and I like it. So the last few changes they've been making is definitely it's like they're trying to get me to play the game more. because they're literally trying to cater to me.
Man, I'm glad.
I can't take you out of bronze, man, unless you play the game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Bearded. I need you to.
I finished placement, so how do you know? I'm not in bronze. I'm not in bronze right now. I'm not.
All I need them to do
anywhere.
All I need them to do is I just hope that eventually when they get like they continue is just bring more like being able to play with more people in ranked, like having like a solo queue, duo queue, and maybe like a full stack 5 queue, hopefully, or 3 or more, just 3 or more people. Hopefully that'll come down later down the line, so you could play.
Yeah, but that's more of a player-based thing.
Yeah, it's a player-based thing, but I just hope that's one day, because I do want to play with, I want to play with Menace and I want to play with Windu and I want to play with Bearded, right? But there's no way for us to
Lies.
I always want to play with you, Bearded.
Windu and Menace, maybe.
Yeah,
you get in my games, you're like, sorry, Bearded. Instantly. First thing you say.
Sorry, Bearded, I'll play my own.
Always gotta run support for Bearded, man.
The only support that I know that stays away from the ADC when he plays with me. I don't understand it. Like, what are you doing in solo, dude?
What do you mean? He is the carry, bro. What do you mean?
He's been getting better, man. We play rank pretty frequently, and it's usually carry and duo, and I'm carry, he's duo. And he has changed. Now, I just hope it's not just with me. And look, wait. Before you cut me off, I tested this because he plays with Arthur too. He plays with Arthur, and he does the same shit. So I'm like, okay, he's learning. This little sprout is finally blossoming into a sunflower.
And maybe it's true. I don't know yet. It's been a while since I played with Terry, but like the most you guys have heard Terry talk right now is the most I've heard him talk. Right, when he's my support, he literally goes silent, doesn't say anything for the whole match. We're making call outs, and he just doesn't even Roger up to anything. Like he just instantly, all of a sudden his mic just stopped working during that game, and then the game stops and he just starts talking. It's like, what do you?
Hey, Terry do be going quiet, bro. Terry be going quiet like he's in an episode of The Last of Us or something. My dude just like
it was very like in fall. Remember, like when do you even knows this, like whenever, or even Menace too, like when I don't say anything if I'm going in, it's weird. I don't know why. I just don't like. I just naturally think you guys are all gonna like.
Weird is not the word I would have used.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just, you know what I mean though? Like I do a lot of things on impulse. So it's like,
and if you call it out, I'll go with you.
And that's the thing though. I just do it. And then I'm like, oh crap. I think I should have called that out, but sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it doesn't. So, but as Menace says, I am getting a little bit better. And that was, that's just, hopefully one day we'll be able to all.
It's because I cuss him the fuck out. I cuss him out. I cuss him out when he fucks up and just gets quiet on me.
I'll be like, yeah, bro.
And then I get him to fucking laugh and now he's fine.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm way too passive aggressive with Terry.
You no, I don't say you are.
Like I point stuff out though. I point stuff out, like I'll get feedback and everything and be like, so did you mean to jump into that 1v3?
And then I'll be like,
I'm telling y'all.
And then he's just quiet. And I'm like, Terry, I need you to say something back from me, homie. Like, I need.
Got a thick skin. Just let it loose, man. Terry has been great emotionally for me because I could just let out my whole day on it.
I can't, bro. That's his emotional support animal. Okay.
Hey, man.
Yo, let's talk about this. Let's say character model.
Yes. Character. Yes.
No, bro. Because no. Okay, so here's the thing, right? First of all, I think it's a skin because it doesn't necessarily fit the Agora Lith or the K-pop vibe that they currently got, the theme they got going on, right? Completely like Zeus, off the wall. Yeah, no, it 100% looks like Zeus. The sash coming across the chest literally is the shape of a lightning bolt and everything, right? And bro, he's got a fucking circular arch looking thing floating on his back. How the fuck can somebody look at that and not be like Gideon skin? Like instead of throwing plasma, he throws lightning shit.
Oh, and then when he throws a rock, Thunderbolt's gonna come down.
You imagine a giant Thunderbolt. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't know how you can see this and think it's a brand new character. I think this looks like an obvious skin for Gideon.
I just hope that when he ults in the air, Thunderbolts just come down, bro, and just
fucking just hold thunderstorm around.
Yeah, thunderstorm or something.
like clouds show up everywhere and shit. Like
I would think, because what would his other ability be? His little sucking. Like, what would that be? Like, what would that?
What do you mean, like pulling people in?
Yeah, the pulling people in. Would it just be a cloud or something? Like,
yeah. What if it's like a tornado? Like a tornado, like thunderstorm, lightning everywhere, sort of vibe. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Hey Reaper, you know what would be cooler than Zeus if this was a character that fit into the lore like an arch nemesis of Gideon? I think that would be even cooler. But
I mean,
that'd be a pretty cool, spicy take.
Fantasy about basically like that they were gonna introduce more characters like cosmic mages or whatever, like let's just say like
I can see that because Gideon's the only one.
Gideon's there's got to be a line of, you know, like kind of like, you know how like Gideon's kind of more like one of his skins in Overprime, he looks like a Mortal Kombat ninja or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So like if they made like a whole like different, like let's say they come out with another character who was like, instead of like Gideon's whole thing is like space and cosmic, right? Like it was all centered around like time or something. That would be super dope. But that's just, you know, me fantasizing, but that would be super cool if they could like elaborate.
It would be really cool if this was another hero, like a give you another basically the counter to Gideon, you know, like Gideon being void, darkness, you know, like this being like was like light, you know, almost a dark versus light situation. This would be really, and imagine that situation.
If it were a separate character, imagine all the lightning is like shocking. So he's got a whole bunch of stuns in his kit and everything.
Yep.
But imagine it's very similar theme to Gideon, like a counter image. Imagine he still has an AoE ult, but instead of pulling everybody in, he just stuns everybody in the circle, or like applies a slow with electricity.
Yeah,
slow, but you could also maybe one of his abilities could be like a slow damage over time, and you just kind of have this like zapping. You know, you just like
effect,
as you're walking away, you're kind of getting zapped or whatever. Maybe almost like what's the word? Dead by Daylight. You have the doctor. You know how you
he shocks you. You know? Like every like let's say like I don't know, like 4th or 5th basic attack, like you stun them for a short period or something. I don't know.
Oh, you mean
something.
like Stormbreaker?
Yeah.
On Predecessor, you would know. It's
I don't play. Yeah.
Or Static Shape from League, but
bro, I was thinking of Marvel. I was like, what is he talking about, bro? I'm so lost right now.
So Reaper in the chat is saying Gideon Black Hole, this character is the sun. I don't think so at all. I think the big lightning bolt across his chest, the lightning coming off of his fingers. I think this guy just screams lightning. Even on the little, like, what are they called? Like a wreath, is it? Like on his head? Like a kind of like a little like side crown that he wears, you know what I'm saying? With like the leaves and shit. Even that has lightning coming off of it and the eyes are yellow. I think this is just like a lightning based character.
I mean, just even like with like, because I know like Overwatch's season right now is all based around like Olympians and so well, like their whole battle pass, because their mythic skin is it's all very like Olympian. Like this kind of all, you know, it attracts those kinds, you know, that kind of people. So I think it's a great skin. I absolutely love it. I think and they've been doing great with all their skins, honestly.
I would love if they were able, because I don't see why they couldn't. I mean, I know Smite has it, but like nothing about Smite says we can't use the Greek gods. You know, goddesses.
Well, there's like, that's just mythology. It can't be owned by anybody at that point. You know what I mean?
So I would
like Hercules can be anywhere if they really wanted to. You know,
especially if you're trying to take away from like Wukong. You're trying to bring Smite players over. You know, you could definitely like if we introduce like another, because like everything about this guy screams Zeus. Right, the lightning bolts, the lightning bolt tattoo on his arm. You know, the little lightning coming from his hand. You know, leaving that little wreath. Like that's what they had in mythology.
This is what I imagine Smite Zeus looking like in 3, like a proper Unreal Engine and shit.
The Giga Chad Zeus.
Yes,
that cartoony Smite.
Bro, look at that beard. What do you mean?
Right.
I mean,
because it's a beard, I'm definitely gonna pop. I don't buy skins. I don't buy skins one bit. This would be one that I would definitely buy.
I mean, and this just paves the way. So I'm hoping that they make more like cohesive skins like together. You know how like Murdock and Twin Blast have their own, like they look like the same cybernetic armor kind of thing going
I got
on.
you.
So
Kind of like how they maybe tease the K-pop skins for the girls.
Yeah, and then they can make they can make Sparrow look like, I don't know, like a Greek goddess or something like that. That would be cool. Like
Apollo would be Twin Blast.
Apollo, yeah.
If they want to copy, if they want to copy Smite, copy Smite and just characters and skins that might attract people, right? Twin Blast is the perfect one for Apollo because he has like a dual weapons. In Smite, he basically shoots out of his fingers, right? Instead of having two guns.
That would be cool, man.
Yeah, and then they could do a Smite
shoot it out of his fingers.
Like, let me ask you guys this. So let's say that is a potential area that they could go into to grab Smite players. They could easily just do like specifically Greek mythology. Let's say they don't steer away from that. They just do a couple Greek heroes here and there because they're pretty common, right? The same way Wukong is in almost every single fucking MOBA out there, right? So
Genesis had some Greek heroes. They had Apollo. They had Poseidon.
Are we just talking skins, or are we talking heroes?
No, the heroes. These are actual heroes,
like actual people, like actually who we could play.
And in Genesis, it was like literally Apollo, and then they had Zeus, and they had one more, I believe. I have to go back and look, but I mean, they had those were other skins they had, other heroes they had. So yeah, other games have had it as well. I was trying to get at. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Windu. But
no, you're chilling.
So I think that would be a good thing they could do.
But does it fit the game? Does it fit the world though?
That's my issue. Because it's not Agora or Agoralith or whatever they want to make, right?
It's like their own world.
I can see them maybe even going into the K-pop world because those characters still, when you place them, when you place Shinbi in Agoralith with the rest of the characters and you got Zena, those characters look like they make sense, right? You throw this character, if that were a brand new character like Zeus, the only way he would look like he makes sense if his Gideon is there, which in retrospect, Gideon kind of sticks out from the rest of the group anyhow. Right?
Yeah.
So maybe that would be how to add a little more synergy.
Yeah. I mean, they go for this like weird, like cybernetic world, right? Like there's like Zinx who's a cat who can like, do all this stuff, and then you have Rampage who's like this, and then you have like you have Twin Blast that's an android, and then you have so there's a lot of and then you have like Kwang who looks like he's from ancient China. Like I have no idea what the world is they're getting from. I mean, I guess they could go anywhere with it. But,
I think that's the best part.
Yeah, like they're not
bottlenecking them.
Yeah,
themselves.
they really are going to every kind of different avenue with it, in my personal opinion. It's because you have Bellica who looks like just like a regular soldier with a submachine gun. You know what I mean? Like, where does it? I don't know if there is a particular theme they're sticking in.
So true, Windu. So true. I mean, that's where Hercules came from.
Yeah, so just to give a little reference, sorry, since you just randomly stopped to say that.
Drop some knowledge.
Yeah, so because Reaper was saying not bald, isn't he supposed to be an old man? So, I mean, yeah, like a little mythology, like I guess this conversation to kind of be real quick. So Zeus was always supposed to be a Giga Chad, like of course, very old, like eternal living, whatever. But he was apparently supposed to be like a very attractive god that was always making Earth women fall in love with him, and he slept with 1 million of them, and that's where the majority of demigods came from. We're literally just offspring of Zeus, just kind of going to town. Anyway,
yeah, I'm like the Earth version of him now.
What are you the one getting slain?
I was waiting for the cricket. Anyway,
yeah, no.
But no, man.
Always comments.
I think regardless if they do a skin or if this is a hero to counter Gideon, I'm a little worried about the fact that if it is like a Zeus type character, but I do agree that adding more mythic characters with like crazy abilities, it would be awesome to see. I want to see a fire hero, right? Like a good example from Smite would be Soul. basically a mage that can be used as a hybrid carry.
AP carry,
yeah. So yeah, or like Kronos, another one that could be used like an AP carry in Smite. I would love to see them implement more stuff like that.
Yeah. I think that's what they're really missing. I think they're just missing more flashy heroes. Like, to be honest, like if you literally look at Wukong, he's not all that flashy.
Yeah, but he isn't Overprime just full of flashy animations and a team fight? It can get so hectic.
I don't think that's what he meant.
I have it. Yeah, they have impactful abilities. Like their abilities are impactful, but
the abilities is the flashy part, right? Or do you mean just a flashy character model?
Like maybe effects is maybe what I'm looking for, or just like, what am I trying to say?
I mean, we got a girl that throws reindeers, bro. I think they got flashy.
yeah. I mean, maybe like I'm thinking like, you know, because maybe I'm thinking like people who are doing like rolls or jumps or fluid movements like that. Something maybe like that is maybe what I'm looking. But
besides the average throw this.
Yeah. Or I'm basically, because what's her name? Kalari had it, right? Kalari had the double jump. That was cool. You know, it was fluid. It was nice. You know, I think that, but we don't have that in this game. Basically, I think everybody's basically grounded, unless it's Wukong who's airwalking, which isn't that all that good anyway. Or so maybe something more like that, something more based around kind of that kind of fluid movements.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, it's, I mean, shit. I don't want them to just straight up steal from Smite. But like, for example, like Poseidon is a very flashy character in Smite. His AoE abilities, the water everywhere. When he's traversing, he's riding on a surfboard on some skins and shit. You know, like they easily could. I don't know if they should just go down the route of let's just use mythology in general, because that's what a lot of these MOBAs do to find heroes, right? Whether it be Greek mythology, whether it be Norse mythology, etc. That's typically where they're like, we're grasping at straws. Let's come up with something or use this as inspiration.
Mako would be flashy. They already confirmed he's rolling around on a ball.
Yeah, I think their original heroes are gonna definitely benefit the game, because I think Zena is actually pretty flashy. She's probably
the electricity and shit.
Yeah, when she's ulting, you know she's ulting, bro. Like when she's, you know, doing her dash, she's dashing you. You know what I mean? I know you love her character.
Yeah, bro. As a character, I love Zena as a character. I still fucking hate how expensive she is, bro. I bought 4 characters before I bought Zena, because every character, literally, she cost 3 characters, bro. I was just like, I'm just gonna buy these 3 so I can fucking play rank, bro. But holy shit, yeah, I think she's awesome.
Yeah, she is probably the most flashiest of all the roster. And why is that? Because they spent more time on her. They've flushed her out into making her feel like overpowered and making her feel strong and making her look good. That's my personal opinion. I just hope they make more skins for her, because I don't want to like basically a girl with a katana, right? I want like her with like some armor, maybe like some like, you know, something
like cool, a Ronin suit or something. Yeah.
Something cool. You know what I mean? Like I just, it makes me upset that she was so expensive, but her other old skin is basically another outfit. Like I could find like at
a different sweater.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like just make her more individual. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like make her more like unique. Something. Yeah. Accentualize what the character is. Like she's a girl with a katana, right? Like, you know, there's a lot you could go with that. You know,
so League of Legends. So she's very inspired by Master Yi in League of Legends, right? Well, even with similar abilities. But
yeah, exactly,
Master Yi literally has a Jedi skin in League of Legends, and they just call it the Chosen One. He's running around with a light sword.
Did you buy it?
No.
Yes. No. Oh, really?
I don't play Master Yi.
It probably wasn't purple.
It's green. It's green. But I don't play Master Yi, to be real with you.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't buy it. But no, like what I'm saying is they have a lot of outlets, and even the whole, and believe me, I know from a technicality, they can have a character with a light sword, and as long as they call it a light sword, they're perfectly fine. was trademarked as the term lightsaber, not a sword that's made out of light, you know, if that makes sense. That's why He-Man can that's why He-Man can have his own little like light sword and whatnot. But yeah, bro, I agree with you, Terry. They for it being such an awesome character, they easily could make the character skins even cooler, unless that's something they're planning. But yeah,
I get it. They're trying to stick in that whole like K-pop theme, but you know, if they're gonna give us skins like the Zeus skin, they can go above and beyond, especially since they're, you know, it does. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe the Zeus skin does look cool, right? And we're all familiar with it, but it is something that's been made many times. So
that's the fear.
Definitely, yeah. So we definitely like the Seraph skin that's new, the Decker skin that's new. Those skins I really love because those are so different. We've never got anything like that.
Or the Muriel one with the horns and everything. Like it's nice touches for sure.
Yeah. So it's just like, you know, just give us more of those original skins.
Mrs. Zurg.
Yeah. yeah, definitely. Or it gives you, it's more of a, honestly, that Muriel skin gives me more of like a Destiny type vibe. She looks like a Vex, if anybody's played Destiny here. But so, you know, just give us, you know, original skins like that, more flashy skins that, you know, I'm really looking forward to. And I am really looking forward to familiar skins too. So, you know, just give us more stuff, really.
Right. So it looks real quick. Genesis had 5 of the mythology heroes: Apollo, Athena, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades.
Yeah, hit all those 3. Yeah, hit the main ones. That's it. That's all you need. And you know,
I only played the electric alligator looking character. That's it.
Ooh,
he was pretty cool.
Anyway. that's the only person I played. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you no character.
But yeah, I mean, I think we really kind of touched on all the points. You guys, are you guys thinking of any like certain heroes that need nerfs or buffs or items that need nerfs or buffs like that?
I'm surprised the Wukong buff hadn't come sooner.
Yeah,
but I guess whenever
he's getting a fog wall. I mean, that's
well, whenever this next patch comes through, I guess we'll see. But
I don't think his damage is the problem. I think it's what Windu touched on last time was he needs to be able to combo his abilities more. He needs more versatility. What's it called?
Versatility.
Variability?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. He needs to be able to switch stances and not be on a cooldown. Like each ability needs to have its own cooldown instead of a slot cooldown. Because that definitely ruins, because especially with the blinks, with the being able to like stun people out of abilities, like he gets caught, he could get caught up to so quick. It's like not even a good viable move or a viable push, in my opinion. He's just, I think his damage is okay. If you really get fed with him, he's actually really busted. But you have to be so far ahead of the rest of the jungler or the solo laner. So, you know, if they're going to change anything, just maybe making that slight change will definitely benefit him a lot. And
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, but all the CC people are still issues. Like Steel's super strong. Faye is still, even though they kind of reduced all the power scaling on all the mages, Faye is still super strong in the meta. So I don't know, we'll have to see, because I mean, still it all comes down to like bans, like what, like the three bans I've seen most is Muriel, Faye and Steel. Like until those 3 things changes, there's never going to be any different going into a ranked game.
You know what I find interesting?
I'm calling it. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I expected to see more in the past 2 months out of their balanced. I'm honestly surprised that we haven't seen more. It almost leads me to believe that things are kind of the way that they want it to be, you know?
Possibly.
Because we haven't seen too many crazy hot fixes. We haven't seen like massive balance patches, you know? Like we had a decent one when Dawn came out, but nothing crazy as far as balance goes. More changing the flow of the game, like, you know, the minions kill faster, stuff like that, but not necessarily too many crazy item characters wise. Like, everything still pretty much feels very similar to a certain extent. So maybe that's just kind of like the feel that they want to keep for the game. Yeah. Keep a little bit of the hey, feed them and they scale quickly. They're still a little overtuned, just don't let them get there, or get overtuned before them. Like the Smite theory, it's nobody's broken if everyone's broken, you know?
Yeah, I do have to say that after this last patch with Wukong, I was able to finally get placement matches, and I didn't see that in the patch notes anywhere, if they're like a bug or whatever. But like, I felt like I was like, it was impossible for me to get a placement match. So I don't know if it's because Wukong brought in an influx of people and I was able to get placement matches, or what was going on. But I actually got 2 placement matches in. I was like, all right, this is actually nice. Because before that, I was talking about on the episodes, and I talked about you guys, like, you know, in DMs or whatever. I was like sitting in the queues for placement matches for, you know, over an hour. And it just wasn't, it did not feel good. So, you know, after this patch, I was actually able to get 2 matches, and it felt nice. I'm like, all right, it feels like something's actually working good here. So that was good to see.
I mean, I just hope that they're able to do what Fall kind of did, was combined all of the servers together and basically match you up depending on your connection, right? So if you can't connect anybody in this one, we'll take all the people in that server and try to connect them to the next server, and then the next server that's nearest to you, and then keep going down that list. So, I mean, I'm hoping they'll get there at one point, because I think I'm still queuing in, you know, in US, was it East right now? So
right. Well, the thing is though, like, Fault did that when they dropped down to a good amount of player. Like we were down. That was like we're sitting at like a concurrent 500 players when they did that, right? And they kind of needed to do that. You know, we're sitting at, well, I mean, I guess this is just Steam. Obviously, I don't know what Epic is, but right now there's 1,200 players on. You know, and actually that's one of the lowest numbers they've had when I've done this. You know, obviously this isn't peak time for them, right? Peak time for them is more, you know, Eastern side. You know. So, you know, their 24-hour peak is 2,288, you know, so like that's huge compared to Fault numbers, right? When Fault made that change. So I don't think they need to do that just yet, but like there was something going on that I was not, like, I don't know what it was with placement matches, but I was not able to get a match. But after the last patch, I was able to get one. So doing a lot better there.
But yeah, I mean, we've already been going for a little bit here, guys. Anything you guys want to add? Last subjects, last comments, or anything like that before we end?
No, I'm good.
I'm good to go.
Yeah, I'm good.
Buddy got that shit out, bro.
I want to point out that Terry showing up late to the show just kind of shows that
for a loss.
Menace and Terry are kind of, they shows you that opposite attracts, you know, because Terry will be late for dinner and Menace won't be late for dinner. Like, he leaves stream just so we can actually go eat dinner. This
was like, okay, because it was,
you better not, Terry. You better not say this
last placement. Way before promotion, I had to play one more. Just it was either I was gonna come to the stream totally pumped, or I was coming to come to the stream like, I'm just okay. Like, it was a special day. Yeah. So if I wasn't doing my promotions, I would have just like, okay, I'm getting ready for the cast, especially if
they order food 24/7. How we doing, son?
Yeah. But then again, though,
other than that, though, Terry, thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. You definitely bring some great insight. It's great to have some people who are a little more well versed, because I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not that well versed in this game right now. I'm trying to get into it, but it's just nothing. These changes they're making, they're pulling me closer, but it just hasn't been enough to pull me in. But I'm definitely interested. Hence why we're here doing this show. Like, I want to follow along. I want to see what's going on. So it's good to have somebody who's a little more well versed in. So thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
I'll pull you in, baby. Don't worry.
And so let's do this. As we say our goodbyes, tell everybody what you're up to. Just like a little bit of a plug, right, where they can follow you, etc. If we could do the order, Terry, Menace, Bearded, and then myself. Go ahead and tell people what you got going on, Terry.
All right. Yeah. So you guys can follow me on Twitch at Terry Twister Plays. I haven't been streaming lately, but my plans are still coming. I'm actually going to be transporting all this stuff, all my equipment to another room in the house. So I'll be able to actually have a full setup and everything like that with full green screens. Yeah, that's all coming later this year. That's really what I'm working on, and getting back into streaming, getting back into like YouTube as well. You can find me on it's actually on YouTube. It is Terry Twister TV now, so that is where you'll find me on YouTube. So if you guys want to, please go check it out. I promise you content is coming, so, and I would appreciate any of the support. Thanks, guys.
All right, everybody, as I said earlier, I am Menace Rex on all socials. You can find my content pretty much daily at this point. I got two things, because Beard, we're not going to forget it this time. The first thing is the next Primecast. I'm going to talk with these guys. We're going to integrate some sort of way we can distribute these Renard codes to you guys. So if you don't know, now you know now. Myself and many other people were given 200 Renard codes. That way you guys could buy skins or heroes, whatever the case may be. We're going to find a way to integrate that onto the next Primecast, whether it's like Q&A in chat or every now and then we'll just give some away. But either way, I want to give them away. I have no need for them. They do me no good. I already have all the heroes and whatnot, so we're going to get that away. The second thing is, literally right before the Primecast, I just unlocked TikTok Live, so you guys will be seeing probably a lot more content on TikTok Live now that I can actually stream, properly on there. So definitely look forward to that. I'm definitely excited. I'm going to try running a test stream right after this.
All right. And you can find that on Menace Rex at TikTok. Right. So, as for myself, I'm trying to get back into that grind. I got a couple weeks worth. I'm trying to post a video on YouTube once a week. So I got this week I posted one. Next week last week I posted one. This week I got one coming up on Thursday, the 2nd. Our Creator Unite video. A couple of us creators are getting in together. We're playing Predecessor, we're playing Paragon The Overprime, and we're showing you what it's like to be able to have all comms and stuff like that. A really cool little situation. Menace is part of that. Wind is a part of that. So a little great thing with that. So my video of that's dropping on the 2nd, and then I got another video that I got scheduled for the next week. So I'm trying to get like my weekly schedule going so I can get more content for you guys. And you can find that at the Beard Wolverine on YouTube. The rest of it, you can see me streaming on Mondays and Tuesdays, Mondays and Thursdays, man. I do my Game and Zen, and then Tuesdays are my podcast shows. We'll be here live as well. So thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you all, and we'll see you on the next one. Windu, your turn.
Spicy. So basically, guys, I've been trying to transition a little bit more towards the YouTube side. Like, I'm still trying to figure out a stream schedule as far as Twitch goes, but keep an eye on the YouTube. Like Bearded was saying, we got the Creator Unite videos. I also post all these podcasts after the fact on YouTube. And yeah, man, just been trying to focus on being a dad. My daughter's literally turning a year in 3 weeks, bro. Like, that shit's nuts, bro. How fucking time flies, bro.
I remember you saying, like, hey, she's here, like yesterday, bro.
Bro, right? That's what I'm saying. Time fucking flies. She's already gonna be a year old, bro.
A year old, yeah. That's what we were thinking,
bro. Nuts, bro. Nuts. So yeah, and as time goes on, right? Like probably the first 6 months of the baby, she was still very baby, right? So I helped take care of her, but I could easily just kind of sneak away, do a quick little stream while she slept and whatnot, right? Now it's less sleeping throughout the day and more like she's awake all the way to like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock or whatever. So I feel horrible coming home from work and then be like, she wants to spend time with me, and I'm like, I gotta stream. I can't do that to my daughter, right? So I've been trying to figure out a schedule, so be on the lookout there. But
it's a rough one.
Yeah, bro, it's definitely interesting because by the time she goes to bed, now I'm like, okay, it's like 9 o'clock. What am I gonna do? Stream for an hour and a half and then go to bed because I got to be up at 7 a.m. So it's trippy. But be on the lookout for all the content. We appreciate all of you tuning in for this specific Primecast episode number 7.
Seven.
There you go.
I'm looking for the person we're gonna rate. I'm like over here looking at other things that wasn't on the screen.
Yeah, you're generally 10.
Sorry, yeah, 7.
But yeah, so episode number 7. Hopefully, we're going to be able to make these for a long time to come. And wherever you're watching right now, please just leave a GG down below, whether that be in the Twitch chat, YouTube comments, wherever you are. Just leave a GG, letting people know that you made it this far. And as always, we will catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.